Have you ever had a flat tire on your bike and you need to know how to change the inner tube? Well, today I'll be showing you just how to do that. So, first step of this, we're gonna have to get this tire off. Then the second part of it is we're gonna be taking the tire off this rim here and changing the inner tube. We're gonna take it completely off, set slaves and stud it. Then we're gonna put the new inner tube on, put it back on the rim, and throw it back on this beautiful bike here. The tools you'll need and equipment you'll need is the inner tube, pull to help push this center bolt out, 3/4 inch ratchet or wrench to put here to twist while you push on it. Just then 3 miscellaneous wrenches to help you get this tire off the rim. Allen tool to take these 4 screws out right here. So to start, you're gonna want to take this out with a 3/4 wrench. I already pre-loosened it to save us some time. Then you're gonna take your multi-tool and take these silver ones out right here. There's gonna be 4 of them, 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. All right, so this next part is gonna be a 2-person job. I'm gonna take the stick, put it this way, while Lane will twist this to help us get it out better. Or not, went a lot smoother than last time. And with that, we now have the tire off. Now the first step to getting the inner tube off, once you have the tire off of the bike, you're gonna wanna try and get the remaining air out of the tire as you can. So for me, I just stick something into the valve stem to push the stem in to release the air. Then the next step will be to get the tire off. With these studs, it will make it a little bit harder. But all you gotta do, try and pull this back and find a spot where you can get underneath the bead to get to it. I got the wrench underneath the bead and another wrench to keep it holding in. Had to use a screwdriver to help, but I do not recommend doing that since you can puncture your inner tube if you're just doing a patch job on it, then it'll make it worse. But now, once you have these, it's gonna take a little bit of persuasion, but you're just gonna keep trying to get this bead up off of the rim all the way around. We finally got the bead going. Took a lot of struggle off camera. It took both me and Lane, surprisingly. But now that we have the bead going, all we gotta do is just run this wrench here on the outside, and it'll pull the bead up all the way around. Then all you gotta do, reach in here and pull the old inner tube out. Then the quicker way of doing it, which we're not doing today since we have to throw more studs in, is you just feed the inner tube back in here. But for the sake of today, we're gonna pull the tire completely off of the rim. Now that Lane got the tire all studded with the tape, we're gonna start putting the tire back on. So what I like to do, I take the rim, put one side right in here, put my hand on the inside of the tire, then just start pushing this bead on around this edge to start off with. Then eventually I'm gonna take my hand here and just start prying it on till this one side's on. Then we're gonna take the inner tube, find where the hole on this rim is that the valve stem goes through. In this case, it's right on top right here. Then we're going to take the inner tube and start putting it around on the inside of this. And now, once you have most of it in, you're gonna find the hole and try and get that valve stem to go right on into it. Now that we have the inner tube in all around, seated kind of underneath this rim, you're gonna take the tire and just start pulling that bead back onto it. Just keep working your way around and try not to stab yourself in the hand. Now that I have the rim seated as much as I can by hand, I'm gonna take this wrench, which goes to a table saw. Then I'm just gonna get underneath the bead and just start prying it onto the rim slowly as I work my way around. And just like this, that tire is now mounted. So we're gonna come over here, turn this air compressor on, and fill this tire up with air. And just like that, our tire is at 20 PSI. Now that we have the tire all aired up, put back on the rim, we have to put it back on the bike. So we're gonna start by taking these two spacers, which go on these sides here, which I took off to help me get the tire on and off. Then we're gonna make sure that this brake rotor will go back into this brake caliper. If I can get her in there. Today's gonna be the day. Now that you have it lined up, it's time to get that axle put back in. Then you're gonna take the other side of your axle and screw it back in tight. Then for this one, we're gonna need a 3/4 inch wrench and the Allen key again to finish getting it all on nice and tight. So with that on, you're gonna come over and tighten these back up onto the axle.